Or do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, the state is requesting that the court take note that both parties did appear before the court today.
So noted.
At this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call Ms. Robinson. Ms. Robinson, can I get you to state your name for the record
Tanisha Robinson.
and the name of the child or children that we're here in reference to?
Takari Robinson.
Say that
Mr.
again, ma'am.
Takari Robinson.
And the name of the child's father.
Mardavion McGowan.
Is there any other person that could possibly be the child's father other than the person that she previously named?
No.
And just to confirm, there's no request for DNA testing for that child today. Is that correct?
No.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're having a bad signal. Can you repeat that?
No, we had one done.
And just to confirm, there's no request for the child's last name to be changed. Is that correct?
No.
As it relates to this case here, has there been any issue relating to family violence between you and the other party to this case?
No, just him and my grandma.
And are you okay with him having your information, such as your address and telephone number?
No. We're moving, so no.
And can you explain to the court why you're not requesting that he, or why you are refusing to allow him to have that information?
One, because of the threats. Two, he doesn't want access or to have any rights, so he shouldn't give my new number as well as my new address when I move.
All right.
And because of the family violence between him and my grandma.
And just to confirm, the grandmother that you speak of is not a party to this case. Is that correct?
No.
And is it your understanding that the father in this matter has two additional children?
Yes.
And is it your understanding that those two additional children do not reside with the father?
No, they do not.
And is it your understanding as well that he currently does not pay child support for those two additional children?
That is correct. He does not.
And how does your child currently receive insurance? Is it through the state or through your employer?
Through the state.
All right. Do you have the option of putting the child on your insurance, maybe through an outside source or through your employer?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Is it your understanding that the other party to this case is currently unemployed?
I believe so, yes.
With the use of minimum wage, the state is requesting that the father pays a total of $113 per month for medical support, and that's going to be state medical. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes.
And the state is also requesting that the father pays child support in the amount of $210 per month to begin on September 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement to that as well?
Yes.
And how old is the child here in this matter?
He's one.
And in the past year, has the father been providing you with support for the child?
No.
Are you requesting that the father be ordered to pay retroactive support for the child?
Yes.
Right, the state has calculated retroactive support in the amount of $2,940. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes.
And are you in agreement for the father to pay that at $60 per month?
Yes.
And as it relates to visitation, are you in agreement for the father to have a standard possession order for the child, which means that he will have the right to visit with the child in the first, third, and fifth weekends of each month?
No.
And what type of visitation are you requesting that the father has with the child?
None.
And why is that, ma'am?
He's actually wanting to terminate his rights, so we were hoping to get that done, I believe.
And ma'am, do you understand that there is no filings before the court to address the issue of termination of rights today?
Wait, say that again?
Do you understand that there is nothing filed with the court today to address the issue of termination of rights for the child?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that if it is your request or the father's request to terminate rights, that you or the other party will need to file those matters before the court to have those addressed?
Okay. I understand.
All right. And as it relates to conservatorship, ma'am, are you requesting to be named as a sole managing conservator, which would mean that you will primarily make the decisions that are in the child's best interest?
Yes.
Do you feel that you and the other party could not make those decisions together for the child?
No.
And have you attempted to do this in the past with the father?
Yes.
And how did that work out, ma'am?
Arguing.
It's a lie.
And as it relates to where the child will reside, do you agree that the child should reside in Dallas and the surrounding counties?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any additional information that you would like to offer to the court as it relates to this case?
Not at this time.
Nothing further from this party, Your Honor. The state would like to call the father here in this matter. Sir, can I get you to unmute yourself and state your name for the record?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can I get you to state your name for the record?
Yes, Mardavion, McGowan.
And you are the father of the child here in this matter, is that correct?
That's correct.
And has there been any issue relating to family violence between you and the other party to this matter?
Yes, due to her grandmother, a legal guardian mother, Joyce Robinson. As I was in a relationship.
Mr. McGowan, again, the question was, has there been any family violence between you and the other party, Miss Tanisha Robinson?
No.
All right. And are you okay with her having your information, such as your address and telephone number?
No.
And could you explain to the court why you're requesting that she's not provided that information?
Well, due to the situation, she has been very I guess you want to say she hasn't been understanding. She has done things to me to make my life harder since I was in a relationship with her. She hasn't done anything to make my life easier or better. So due to that, it's easier for me to just be able to move on with my life without someone trying to bring me down, without my intentions of doing anything wrong to them. As far as domestic or all of that, I have done nothing of that matter to her. She don't have proof. She don't have evidence of nothing of that matter. So,
okay.
No.
Mr. McGowan, would there be any safety concerns if the mother had your information, such as your address and telephone number?
Yes, because my recent address that she had, she would appear and pop up out of the blue without communicating, without calling. And I have a problem, with that. And she's always been like that. So, yes, it would be a problem, for her to have my address, to have my number, of any access to me.
All right. And sir, if the court was to order that you are not required to provide your information, or the mother is not required to provide her information, such as address and telephone number, would you be in agreement to download the app Close for communication purposes, which means that you two can communicate via an app, so therefore you don't have to give each other your telephone numbers?
No, sir.
So you just feel that you two should have no communication at all?
I tried that. No, sir.
As it relates to your employment, sir, are you currently employed?
No, sir.
Is there any specific reason why you're not currently employed, sir?
Yes, due to Tanisha Robinson's mother/grandmother, Joyce Robinson, intervened in our relationship numerous of times.
He's asking about your job.
Harassing me, putting charges on my name. Therefore, I can't get certain jobs due to the background checks that have to be required to get a good job, and I'm not allowed to get a good job due to that, all the false allegations and the lies.
Mr. McGowan, are you currently living in Dallas?
Yes.
All right. Would you be interested in being placed into the Choices program to assist you with looking for work?
For work?
Yes.
No, that's okay.
So just to confirm, so you're not currently employed and you are not in agreement to get assistance in helping you find a job. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And why is that, sir?
I honestly I feel that I've been trying to get this matter resolved, and now at this point, I've talked to someone. I have to, set up a court date and all of this in order to try to get that charge dropped off or removed or expunged off of my background. So I honestly feel like a program wouldn't work for me if the company itself or me submitting applications and having the work experience and they turning me down because of that specific misdemeanor that's on my background.
All right. Mr. McGowan, as it relates to this case here, you have 2 additional children outside of this case. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you are not currently providing child support for those 2 children. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And those 2 children also do not reside with you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. With the use of minimum wage to calculate support, the state is requesting, sir, that you pay a total of $113 per month for state medical. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
No, sir.
And as it relates to child support, sir, the state is requesting that you pay a total of $210 per month for child support. Are you in agreement to that?
No, sir.
And in the past, sir, have you been providing support for the child?
No, sir.
The state is requesting retroactive support in the amount of $2,940 to be paid at $60 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
No, sir.
And can you explain to the court, sir, why you're not in agreement to pay child support, medical support, or that you should have provided support for the child in the past?
Well, as due to my understanding, as I explained to her as well, I didn't know that he was even my son up until the point I decided to take a DNA test with a company that you can go in there on your personal time. And so I didn't know that he was even mine up until that point. And then even until then, I was still unable to get actual career or job due to that on my background that she has called.
Okay, Mr. McGowan, when did you take the DNA test for the child?
The DNA test, I want to say it was around somewhere in June.
And since June, sir, when you found out that you are the father of the child, have you provided for support since then?
Haven't been able to work. No, sir.
All right. And you and Ms. Robinson were sexually active in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And did you know a child was conceived?
At the time, I did not know.
So you never knew that Ms. Robinson was pregnant?
I didn't until after what happened. I was gone after the situation, moved on. We was broken up, and then I got a call 2 weeks later.
So 2 weeks after the child was born, you learned of the child. Is that correct?
Well, no, I knew she was pregnant, but it was after the fact that I left. We broken up. I didn't know at the time that she might have been pregnant or not, but it was 2 weeks after the breakup, I found out that she was pregnant.
Okay. So after you learned of the child being born, you did not take any steps to find out if you were the child's father until June. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was June of 2024?
Yes.
All right. All right, sir. I believe that is about it. Give me just one moment.
Okay.
And as it relates to the child's name, you are not requesting that the child's last name here in this matter be changed. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And as it relates to visitation, would you be requesting that you have visitation with the child here in this matter?
No, sir.
And could you explain to the court why you're requesting that you have no visitation with the child?
I honestly, it's more of the family that comes with the child have done enough to me, I feel, in my life, and I honestly don't want to move forward with dealing with that.
So what does the family have to do with you having visitation with the child in this matter, sir?
Because the mother, I have to communicate and deal with the mother who has pretty much escalated and been a catalyst to what's going on in my life right now.
When you speak of the mother, are you talking about Miss Robinson or Miss Robinson's mother, so the child's grandmother?
I'm talking about Tanisha Robinson.
Okay.
And Joyce Robinson.
All right, sir. And are you in agreement for the mother to be named as the sole managing conservator, which means that she will primarily make the decisions for the child in this matter?
Yes.
All right. Nothing further from this party, Hunter.
All right, I don't know that y'all either listen to each other, but the only thing I'm listening to as another party here is that y'all aren't thinking about the child at all. Y'all are thinking about what y'all want. You don't want you're not really thinking about this child in any way. Very selfishly. I don't understand why y'all can't see that. I hope that will change, but y'all are not thinking about your child in any way. Y'all are thinking about your own issues that you'll have with each other, or maybe with the third party, but they have nothing to do with what this child needs. This child needs two parents. This child needs support from both parents. And y'all are standing in the way, both of you, is what I hear. I'm going to do an order as if, which is what we're supposed to do, is orders based on the best interest of the child, not in the best interest of the parents. And all y'all have told me today is what's in the best interest of you, not the child. Hopefully y'all will change as a young child. So sound like we're dealing with a 17-year-old child. It's a child that's not very old. And so there's no reason for their things not to change. All right, so we're establishing that Mr. McGowan is the biological father. I'm making a finding there's been no family violence. The violence y'all have mentioned is not related to you two. It's related to somebody else not involved in this case. I'm not granting either one of your non-disclosure requests because I'm hoping that y'all can figure out a way to communicate with each other for your child. Not to harass each other, but so that y'all can raise this child together, which y'all haven't seemed to have been doing a good job about so far. We're doing government medical insurance. Mr. McGowan, you have an obligation to support your children, and so you have to pay child support and medical support. Medical support is $113. Child support is $210. Should be much higher than that because you have a child and you have an obligation to support this child. I don't understand why you don't want help looking for a job. That just sounds like laziness to me. That's really all it is, because this program also deals with people that have felonies on their record. And so I don't know. You're just basically saying you want to be lazy, I guess. I don't know. But you have to support your child financially each and every month, even if you don't visit. And you owe child support since the child was born, not since you found out or whenever you decided to. So you owe back child support of $2,940 for back child support, and that's to be paid at $60 a month until paid in full. Since y'all can't communicate, I'm appointing Ms. Robinson as the managing conservator. I am granting standard visitation, hoping that Mr. McGowan will want to visit his child at some point in the future and that y'all figure this out. But that's not a requirement. That's up to him if he chooses to.
No.
There is Mr. McGowan, I didn't ask you to talk. There's a reason why I have you muted, both of you muted, so you can listen. But you're refusing to listen. That's the problem. All right. Court costs as billed to Mr. McGowan. I can tell y'all they're not going to terminate anybody's parental rights just because you don't like it. So y'all are going to be with each other for at least the next 17 years or longer. Mr. McGowan, like I said, I can't make you visit, but you're going to pay child support for the next 17 years, whether or not you're a part of this child's life or not. And if not, I'll be gladly decide in the future when a petition is filed to put you in jail multiple times until you learn how to do that. And that's the way it's going to be. All right. The Attorney General's office is going to put that all in writing. You need to read the order. You have to follow the order, even though you may not agree. And y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.